I have always wanted to deep fat fry a turkey, but no one in my family has ever allowed me to do that.
Welcome to the fourth episode of the 12 Days of Christmas Joy interview series 2024. You are in the right place if you love food and need some inspiration and joy in your life. And today I'm very excited to be joined by Stu MacDonald. Hello, Stu. Thank you so much for being
Hello.
here.
Thanks very much for having me. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, it's lovely to meet you as well. So, Stu is the founder of Manilife, a peanut butter that has been absolute pioneers in the premiumization of a category that before then was stranded in the commoditized banality of smooth and crunchy. Started in a rugby club kitchen 9 years ago, Manilife is now the fastest growing peanut butter brand in the UK, and their range now spans snacking peanuts, almond butter, even a cookbook endorsed by the godfather of UK food,
Like,
Ottolenghi.
I mean, man,
Yes, yeah,
who,
lovely.
is, who wrote that? James Joyce. That's just beautiful, beautiful words there.
Aren't they?
Thank
Aren't
you so
they?
much.
Lovely. So, Stu, tell me, how did you start your business? Did you always know you wanted to run your own business and make peanut butter?
Definitely didn't always know I wanted to make peanut butter. Like, didn't even like peanut butter before I started my life. Run my own business. I very fortunate to come from like a loving family, and always very aware of that. But when I was kind of in my mid-teens, I got very ill, like pretty, wouldn't say like close to death, but it was quite serious. And so I think once I recovered from that, there was there was a kind of chip on my shoulder is not the right word, but this like desire to do something a bit out of the ordinary. And yeah, I guess starting a peanut butter business is fits that in a way. In terms of how going on to how we started, actually, like the seed was, I was offered a job at an accountancy firm called PwC, which was very not out of the ordinary. And so I put off the start of that job with the idea of moving to Argentina, where the idea was that I was going to basically go there and build up enough guilt to become an accountant for years. And I arrived and I kind of fell into working with a peanut butter social enterprise. We used to go around soup kitchens, like teaching kids and families how to use the stuff, and got super, super into it. I eventually started to experiment with recipes, selling to like local community myself. Uh, Not many people eat peanut butter in Argentina, so that didn't go very well. But I basically started looking at the market back home, and in doing that, I tracked down the family that we still source all our peanuts from today.
Oh,
Uh, and yeah, met them, loved them, amazing people. I always joke that if they'd made honey, I'd have started a honey brand. And their product was awesome. And it was about that time that the UK market was really growing, but no one was speaking about peanut butter the same way we speak about coffee or chocolate or wine or beer or any of that kind of like traditionally craft categories. Uh, so, and I was feeling pretty Argentinian at the time. So I came home with the idea of starting Manilife, which was going to be the world's first provenance-led peanut butter brand. This is quite a long answer. But we basically came home, imported the first ton, and it was a complete disaster because the day it arrived, our production partner pulled out and a ton of peanuts in my bedroom. As we made 4,000 jars of peanut butter, one jar at a time, in a rugby club kitchen with like 45 friends that summer. And that was the seed of
wow.
Manilife. And that summer was like formative for so many reasons that we can go into if you like.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing. So that's quite a challenging start, isn't it? It's not like it all just went swimmingly for you
For
straight.
sure. I mean, yeah, I think I was 25 or 25, 24, can't remember, and just had no idea what I was doing. But like, it's quite a common theme when you speak to people who start businesses is like there's like a gift in the naivety. And if we had started a food business the way that most people start food businesses, then we'd have ultimately been like a provenance led co-manufactured brand, which co-manufactured means it's made by someone else. And that would have been very copyable, and people have started talking about provenance of peanut butter because of us. But because we started the way we started, we kind of inadvertently developed a completely unique way to make peanut butter, which is one of the key reasons why the product is so much, I think, so much better than what's out there.
Yeah, really interesting. And I'm also interested in your brand name, Manilife, as well. I mean, that's quite unique.
Yeah. So this is interesting. Why do you think it's called Manilife?
Well, I've done some research.
Okay, fair. So Mani means Mani, as you should, Beckham, and to assume otherwise would be heinous. So Mani means peanut in Argentine. But what's quite funny is it also means that we over-index in male consumers, which is kind of like a real lens into the psyche of men. It's like anything to do with us, we want to buy.
Exactly, that's what springs to mind, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's quite a good prefix for like manufactory. We used to deliver our stuff on the Mani bike.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's good. It's in the early days, many people suggested that I change it, but I'm glad we stuck with it because it can.
It feels like, as well, having read about you, it feels like actually your business is so much bigger, really, or your mission. Maybe it's your mission and your vision is so much bigger than actually your amazing product that you make.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny because and I think I probably did think about this a bit at the time when we came up with the name, but like Manilife kind of signifies the two, and they're not opposing, but like sometimes conflicting things about business. So the Mani bit, which means peanut, is about the product. Like we obsess over quality, and like we make the best peanut butter, I think, in the world, but definitely the UK. So that's the product bit. And the life bit is what I've always been so passionate about, which is like this community people element. And yeah, that's the bit that like really excites me. Like I'm obsessed with the product, but the bit that like gets me out of bed in the morning and kept me going in the early days was the fact that like we were genuinely making people like happier by creating the product we made and like creating the kind of environment we did, particularly at shows. And that bit speaks to our like part of our mission, which is to take peanut butter from like basically a spread you put on toast to like a staple ingredient that's enjoyed around the dinner table together. And yeah, it's like there's we talk about like magical moments, and that again, magical moments aren't products, they're around the dinner table eating great food and having a good time.
And I feel it's also like in any way that anyone comes into contact with your brand, so your suppliers, and it's like it feels like it runs through your whole ethos of how you are.
Becky, I'm so glad you've noticed that, because I think about that a lot, and I often get quite emotional thinking back to like the people who've helped us out. We work with many of the suppliers we work with. So, for instance, the guy who has roasted our peanuts since the beginning, the first order that we placed with them was like 60 kilos. We now do between 55 and 75 tons a month. So it's like amazing. And throughout the whole journey, the relationships, but with customers, with team and suppliers, have always been something that like has been really important. So the family we work with in Argentina, we're by no means their biggest customer, but like the amount of airtime and the amount of care that they give us is like well beyond what maybe makes, and it definitely historically had made commercial sense. But like we genuinely love each other. So it's super nice. It sounds kind of like mushy, but it's a thing, which is cool.
It is. It's amazing, and I think that's one of the lovely things about working with businesses that really care about the whole start to finish, and it's not just it is almost a way of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Manilife, you know. So
Yeah, yeah.
you've
You,
created it's
you should
wonderful.
be in marketing. Or you are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it is
and
funny though, actually. So I remember when I started the Manny life, I I said to people at the time that I didn't want to be a brand because my view of brand was this like false, uh, like kind of facade. But what I began to realize is like I really wanted to be a brand, but I didn't. But I just wanted to be like a kind of the new age type of brand, which is like authenticity is such a cliche, but like we like drip authenticity.
yeah,
Uh,
an alignment, you know, I
yeah,
can tell
exactly.
that it comes from the heart, you know, and
Yeah,
that just shines through, I have to say,
that's
in
nice.
your
Thank
business.
you.
So
Cheers.
yeah,
Yeah.
so what do you have envisioned for the future? You know, if you have, you know, no holes barred,
Yeah.
sky's the limit.
Yeah. Um, so sometimes the answer to that question depends on how I'm feeling. But one thing that remains consistent is so as I said earlier, I want to take peanut butter from like spread staple, breakfast staple into like dinner table domain. So staple ingredient, because it's just a magical product that is so versatile. And I really want to try and play a role in like getting people to basically cook and eat around a dinner table because that's something that's really important to me. Um, and the way that there's loads of ways that we do that. We work with restaurant companies, we work with chefs, we position ourselves as an ingredient as opposed to a spread. Um, but one of the things like pipeline dream is that I want to find a way to like experientialize peanut butter. So if you think about coffee and chocolate, like they've both gone through these kind of like craft transitions or like quality transitions.
Yeah,
But the reason that coffee is so much further along than chocolate is because the people experience coffee in like a multi-dimensional uh, setting. So like cafes is a human experience, whereas chocolate is still ultimately something you snack on. And I want to find ways to like inject the kind of that thing about coffee into peanut butter. So like future is like Manilife peanut butter cafes. We developed a few years ago this thing called the Peanut Butter Tasting School, which is this like amazing interactive session where we take people through the supply chain. They make their own, uh, all that kind of stuff,
wow.
basically.
That sounds absolutely
Yeah,
amazing. And so I do want to say that on your website, I noticed that you've got quite a lot of recipes. So
yeah,
if anybody who's watching this, I will put the link
yeah.
in underneath the video.
Fantastic.
So anyone can go and have a look at your recipes.
We
And
also have an amazing, like generally like out of this world cookbook that we have several copies of that in the warehouse. So
fabulous.
use the recipes on the website, but also
Get
I'll share a discount
make
code
a
for you.
lovely present, wouldn't it? For
Yeah,
Christmas
it really would. And
for
it's sick. And
somebody.
it's yeah. No, sorry, I'm interrupting, but it's awesome. And so we co-authored it with these two awesome chefs called Adam and Soph, who are like top end of the kind of food game. But what was really cool is we mentioned Yotam earlier. He doesn't do this very often, but he's like on the back is a quote that he's given us about Manilife, which is cool. So yeah, get the cookbook, guys. We've
Yeah,
got
so
lots
I'll
of
put the link in there as well. Really good Christmas present for
yeah,
somebody. And
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I love food. And for me, Christmas is all about food and getting around the table with people and,
for
you know,
sure.
sharing food. So I'm interested to know, you know, what do you have a favorite Christmas recipe or thing or tradition that you like best?
So I I have always wanted to deep fat fry a turkey, but no one in my family, be it my wife or my mum, has ever allowed me to do that. Probably for good, I'm quite clumsy, but that's kind of like a dream. But I'm at Christmas, I'm the sprouts man, and I like the Brussels sprouts in the McDonald's house at Christmas are amazing.
Excellent.
And it's all about like how you like flavor the butter,
Yeah.
like spices you add, pancetta, all that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, there's peanut butter doesn't tend to feature as a relief, I guess, for lots of people in the family. But we
Yeah,
do
well, what
we
about
do
for Yuletide, festive Yuletide log? And
yeah. So we last year we created something called mint peanut butter, which sounds kind of gross, but it is absolutely like insanely good. And it's quite a funny story. So Amazon approached us really randomly, and they do Christmas specials every year, and they kind of pitched this idea to us. And we were like, that sounds kind of disgusting, but we'll have a go. We did a little play around, and we were like, wow, this could be amazing. So we did, I think, like 5,000 jars or something like that, and they sold out in a few days. And we've now brought it back this year. I think it's probably there might be some still left in, I think, Sainsbury's by the time this comes live, but I imagine it'll be sold out everywhere else. But that's a mega product. And next year we're going to bring it back in an even bigger way.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, I'm really looking forward to trying that. So, well, thank you so much for talking to me today. It's been really interesting and quite amusing. And so, just have a lovely, lovely Christmas, Stu.
Real pleasure. And to you and all your listeners too, a Merry Christmas.
Lovely.
And a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year. Yeah.
And I'll share a code for the cookbook with your listeners actually as well, because it's good.
Super. Thank you so much.